Jolan, true Centurions, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Postmod. I am Fleet Admiral Tirk of the battleship RAS Calum, as we continue our campaign against what remains of the United Federation of Planets, and it is a sad scattering indeed. Just small pockets of isolated resistance surrounded in a sea of green. So let's kick off and continue on our assault against that Federation. We do want to finally put them away, put them to bed. This has been the longest series we have done so far. Already, I think we're at 80 episodes now. So yeah, we've been playing as the Romulans for a very, very long time. So let's start things out today with a nice little convoy raid, going in to attack more pirates because the Federation doesn't really exist. I'm fairly certain we've taken out most, if not all of their actual stations and planets. We're just mopping up, so they don't really have much of an infrastructure to keep going. So at this point we only see a couple of freighters, and we are escorted today by RAS Gavia, a little small Klingon bird of prey style vessel, but done in Romulan colors with Romulan plasma torpedoes, as well as the Carrot. I get the feeling this should be a joke here, but it's a Gorn freighter with F-type plasma torpedoes, and it's just not all that interesting or impressive. Have we found the enemy yet? Freighter, 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 light cruiser. So I guess you are the convoy escort. How sad to be you. What are you? Still a freighter. So they're done for. Not really much else to put it in any other way, because, well, we're a battleship escorted by two. Actually, these might be decent. Romulans being decent at convoy rating, not super well, actually. The problem being here that he's only got 4 phaser X's, I think 2 of which only fire to the rear, and 2 plasma F torpedoes. It'll take him both of those plasma F torpedoes and all that phaser fire to kill one at a time, but the moment he fires his also apparently there's an ISC freighter. Every single time he fires one of his plasma torpedoes, they're going to drop a wild weasel. Also, interesting thing that occasionally I think about and then don't actually mention anything. Can't see it from the right angle that I want to, but this is just a frigate with like a semi-truck back on it, which is funny and, well, to me, it makes a whole heck of a lot of sense with the way that the Star Trek does this, well, Starfleet Battles does this sort of thing. There's a lot of ships where, well, it's basically just a frigate design, and they gave it a huge cargo pod to drag things around. So squaring off against a BRXP-2, which I don't anticipate will have much in the way of heavy armament, although fire the super. We shouldn't have done that because we could have saved him, but who cares? This will be a nice, easy mission, and only 5 plasma torpedoes, so that's actually not a bad number. And wait for his crash stop. There it is. Can I target his shuttle? Thank you. Phasers. Thank you. Okay. All plasma torpedoes. Ooh, actually, I don't think I timed this just right. We are going to scoot into self-hitting range. And in a second now. Oh, he shot fired, so he's done for. Good night. There we go. You made a serious mistake. And it does look like this is going to be one of those missions where if you're too close to an expanding ball of plasma, you will die as well. Plasma torpedoes, I'm going to set them to normal just as soon as I get the stern firing plasma torpedo off. Because our buddy was right there, and now he's not. So let's make sure to keep our distance in this mission because we don't feel like losing things. Yeah, this is actually going to be pretty scary. So make sure that you maintain a long range from the enemy. We don't want to accidentally invite self-destructing pain. And wait for that plasma torpedo to go out. I do think that 60 damage ought to be enough, even though it is spread around all the shields, although you are one of the more superior versions of that. Can I not just put out enough firepower from phasers to kill you? Apparently not. So that's going to have to wait. Apparently the Carrot already getting in there and causing some pretty serious... Oh no, it's just the lighting. But the Carrot getting in there, shooting away, blasting things up. Plasma torpedoes, get ready to fire. He's picking up speed, I think. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and now. By the time that stern firing plasma torpedo goes, it'll go where we want it to. Will you survive? I hope not. Although, I should be planning on this because we have them. We may as well get some use out of them. Your shields held against that? Wow. I am incredibly impressed. Plasma torpedoes back to normal mode. Yeah, we'll set them to normal. Who cares? Fire a whole bunch of phasers into him. Not quite enough to kill him. However, the port side plasma torpedoes we're about to dish into him will. Guys, don't get too close. We'll select lights only because I think a single F might do it this time. Not quite. More phasers? There we go. that works. So we've destroyed one of the wildfire freighters so far. Plasma F torpedo. It is a chase, and it is from a range of 7. Oh, he'll definitely double wild wheels on now. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't do that, so that I could actually get some interesting things going on here. Long range plasma torpedo. That'll just stop him. That's the only goal of that. Phasers and the single R. That's what'll fire into him here. Actually, if we want to get this done, we've got to fire that R now, otherwise we might kill ourselves for reasons unknown. There we go. Took out another one. And I guess you're the friendly, so is it? Yeah, it's just him left. Okay, so the moment he stops, except he didn't stop. Wow. I was expecting the plasma torpedo to invite him to stop, but apparently a range of about 19 on a plasma F torpedo against the target running away at a speed of 10 doesn't quite work out. How much energy do I currently have in that forward shield? 26. Like, we actually need to defend ourselves. Put on some more power and increase the speed of the vessel. We may as well just get this over with. And the Carrot blasting away with a long-range plasma torpedo, not quite able to do what he wanted. It did ding it up a little bit, but it is just a free trader, so they have decent enough shields. The phasers will do the end work. So another convoy pursued, hunted down, and destroyed. However, it was pirates, so it's not super important to the Federation. Or maybe it is, because there's not much of a Federation left at this point. 214 prestige is our reward and a neutralized tile, which is all that we could possibly ask for. And we'll run right on over here, because it's going to be a lot of sprinting now. We must rush between locations until we finally get to that main central mass of Federation vessels. So it does appear there is a disabled vessel out here, which we will take care of. Plasma torpedoes to enveloping, increase the speed of the vessel and the speed of time. May as well. Don't think we have to worry about too much out here. Unless a Gorn battleship shows up, in which case we could be in trouble. But no, it is a Federation frigate. It is a battle frigate, right? I'm assuming that's proper. An FBE, a Federation battle frigate escort? Something to that effect. Not very important. Keep increasing the speed. In fact, I'm not even going to bother with actually preparing our forward shields. Is there anything on board to steal? Yes, you do indeed have dilithium crystals, so we shall rush on in here to stop you. All plasma torpedoes. Fire pseudos. Target you. Get ready to beam things on board. Stand by. Steal. Wrong shield that we want in that direction. Slow down the speed of time so I can actually concentrate. Hi. Fire everything and hope the acceleration rate takes him fast enough. Oh, hook shot. I hope we're not close enough to kill ourselves doing that. That is always a concern at this point. Fire a plasma torpedo out the back, add in some phaser fire, and hopefully an enveloping plasma S torpedo will be enough to annihilate him. If not, well, we'll come around to it. But it was all targets destroyed and dilithium crystals stolen. At this point, the thing that concerns me the most isn't necessarily the enemy vessels, but rather, are we going to kill ourselves, as we've demonstrated several times in the past. So 214 prestige is our reward, along with another neutral tile, and we'll pass in through friendly territory just briefly on our way to this little tile, of which there is no mission. Seriously, game? Why you do? Another patrol to go on. Oh, we're getting close. We are getting close to the end of this campaign. We will finally be able to say victory is ours, but not just yet. Red alert! And enveloping, come through, make sure we set up our electronic warfare systems. Nope, we want more power in the electronic countermeasures than the electronic countermeasures, because we would rather see the enemy better than, well, avoid damage, because we have so... Oh, it's a trap! Hi. Alright, I'll go after you first. 1, you're bigger, but 2, you're also closer. By a little bit. How much energy do they currently have? Plenty of power, so we're going to pick up the pace and come right in for you. Slow down the speed of time just briefly so we can bait him out. Fire a super torpedo. We'll fire another one inside of a range of 30 just to make sure that things come out the way that we want them to. Wait for that crash stop. And there it is. Just double check. Electronic countermeasures and the shields. Okay, good. Just had to be sure. After all, we don't want to accidentally not kill them. That would be bad. We are coming in a little bit too fast and a little bit too head-on, so we're going to have to launch early and may have to rely on a swingback. Now, he's got an acceleration fine. Wait for it, now. And right on into him. Prepare the phasers for follow-up if required. They were required. However, there is no more heavy cruiser. It is now an SLVX-1, which appears to be a form of a freighter right now that is going to try and duel with us. I'm impressed, I guess. We'll actually dump out a pseudo-torpedo from the stern, just to see what he does with it. And once we hit a range of about 15, or we see him crash stop, which he probably will crash stop, we'll launch the other pseudo-plasma or we'll launch the actual plasma torpedo. We won't have any of our main ones online, but the stern-firing one should be available. But do you care? No, not so much. You kind of figure that it's either real or it's not, but it doesn't really matter. He's armed with 2 photon torpedoes and 2 phaser X's, so great to be him, I suppose. Forward shield, I assume, is at a decent enough power level. He is starting to speed up into a combat speed, which I think is a good idea when you're fighting plasma, but it's not going to help. Fire the hull phasers on right through him. We've cut right through his shields, no problem at all. Taken offline a couple of his systems. Can I take off that shuttle bay completely? We hurt ourselves doing that, but we also killed him doing that. So, a trade-off that is just fine, and a whole lot of money. Ambushes pay out hand over fist. It's lovely. See, 550 prestige. I think that may be the most payout that you can get from a single mission, is surviving and winning an ambush. Another convoy raid, an annoying but necessary mission to go on, because we need to hunt down all the convoys we can. Apparently it's a Gorn convoy now, against a BBX. Oh boy, you are a BBX, right? Yeah, you're... This is gonna get ugly. We need to come here, prep that here. I need more power into the electronic countermeasure system. We are also being escorted by the Centurions, who is a Super Hawk, which can rip the crap out of that convoy if he can ever get to it. He is definitely in the long chase position, which will be a little bit difficult for him to work with. We also have another friendly Hawk. You're not a Super Hawk, are you? No, you're a Fire Hawk. Armed with 2 R-type plasma torpedoes, 4 D-type plasma torpedoes, and a host of other weapon systems. We are going to deploy the pseudo-frigates right now because they come out with plasma torpedoes ready to rock. So they will have an opportunity to kill things. In the meantime, we will have to focus on these interceptors. And energy screen tells me I've got all kinds of energy, so let's take some of that and use it to hunt after these Gorn pseudo-frigates. Hopefully they will stay at long range and not get too close to the BBX's plasma Ds. The Firehawk is already engaging the pseudo-frigates. Excellent. And probably... no, he'll kill it before we get there. Excellent. So we don't have to worry about that. And do I want to bother with the pseudo-frigates in this range? No, not really. Call them home. Call them home right now, guys. You fired your weapons. Now get back. You also took out most of the forward shields. Okay, that works for me. 2. This one only. Fire pseudo-frigate. Or pseudo-torpedo. Let's see if we can't pay them out. Get in, guys. Whew. Saved them both. And you did not deploy Wild Weasel? You're just stopped? That was your crash stop, so you deployed Wild Weasel earlier. Turn on into him. We're going to hit him with everything we've got. Oh, he's about to become the center of his own little star. That went way better than expected. I was anticipating lots of pain and destruction, but no. The Firehawk came in from a perfect angle, along with our pseudo-frigates weakening him, distracting him, forcing out one of his Wild Weasels, and then just left him completely vulnerable. So good job, everybody. Let's now get in there and cause some havoc. As soon as you guys are ready... Oh, they're ready. They are ready and eager. So get going, guys. Go kill everything you can in this convoy. And now the Super Hawk showing up. He's a little bit late to the party, but he will be able to have a field day. And he also carries his own little pseudo-frigates. Excellent. So we brought all kinds of ships perfectly able to wipe out convoys with us today. Let's increase the speed of time. There's no sense in really moving on too much. Will that leave you? Yep, you're dead. On to the next one. I have no forward firing phasers at this moment, but I do have stern firing phasers and a stern firing plasma torpedo. If it ever decides that it wants to actually shoot. He did Wild Weasel that, I do believe. Or that, or he... Yeah, he did. More phasers. Hit him hard. Hit him with where it hurts. And just lay on into him. Anybody left? Oh, you, the Strong Heart. Strong Heart is supposed to be the last target. Everything. And annihilated. So that actually went off relatively easily. Again, I was expecting just a massive drag-out, knockout fight with that battleship, but no. The support of that Firehawk was clutch because it allowed us to cause so much damage that he just couldn't stand even a single volley. So more missions, another patrol. We're looking to neutralize everything. There shall be no blue on this map after we're done with it. More Gorn vessels, which honestly are probably the best choice that they have to actually fight us. The Gorn are armed with plasma, which is something the Federation generally lack. There are a couple of specific exceptions, but they're not really a plasma-armed race, and so when they fight plasma-armed races, things do not necessarily go in their favor. Let's make sure we set up our electronic countermeasure system. I do believe you're a BBX. I'm going to assume you're a BBX, just from a preparatory standpoint. Prep a second wild whistle. Yeah, you're a dreadnought, and according to the fleet screen, yeah, you're a BBX. You're the Swiftfoot. I assume it's the Swiftfoot. I mean, it's the Swift something, but Swiftfoot is generally a pretty common name for one of these vessels. And we are going relatively slow. There's no point in going relatively slow because he has enough plasma firepower to get through pretty much any defense we might try and slow him. Slow down the speed of time so we have time to react. Fire a single R-type plasma torpedo and immediately begin to turn away. We don't want to get too close. And we will, of course, prep a third Wild Weasel. Why not? We have 4 shuttles. We may as well make them all into the only useful thing in the game. Increase speed! Increase speed! Or I could... Emergency stop. We're going to do this. We're going to do the full fun time here. Slow down the ship. Set our engine consumption down to that. So he has now gotten rid of our first Wild Weasel. And I don't want to launch our pseudo-frigates into what will be a slaughter. Prepare to pick up speed. Heavy plasma torpedoes only. Hopefully we'll be able to get some speed. Yeah, we've got some speed going on our own. Excellent. So we will be able to get some maneuverability here. Except the difference is we still have most of our plasma torpedoes and he doesn't. He fired his heavy ones already, which means he will have his light plasma torpedoes. So let's keep an eye on how much energy we have in the forward shield. He'll be able to put out about 40 damage. Let's start to slow down. We're going to need to tank a lot of shots here. Heavy plasma torpedoes are selected. And so 5, apparently that would leave your target. Fire all the heavies. From this range it should deal full damage to him. Now we're just going to plow our way through the incoming field of plasma. That's my plan. I'm sticking to it. We are within range. Light plasma torpedoes get involved in this. And I'm not going to shoot at you because I think my D-type plasma torpedoes are going to handle you just fine. Excellent. So our D-type plasma torpedoes have done their job. We've also mostly knocked out his shields. We haven't actually gotten anything quite through. So now we've done that. Okay, he's got a stern-firing acid plasma torpedo, which he will shoot our way. So I am going to slow down. Slow down more. We're just going to slow boat it on through here. We are getting hit basically because of those pseudo-frigates we're running through the mines. And we've just lost our forward shield, which I'm a little bit annoyed about. But it will bring him around into a position where we can fire the stern-type plasma torpedo. Doesn't look like it actually did any damage to the ship. Wait, so what hit us for that much damage? 2, please. Thank you. I need a plasma torpedo to go. Come on, shoot it. Shoot it. There we go. So another enveloping plasma torpedo. This will sandpaper away. Nope, it would have sandpapered away all his shields if he hadn't dumped a Wild Weasel. Which honestly was a good plan on his part. Oh, you have help. I did not realize this. So this is not necessarily the one-on-one situation that I had time to build it as. Keep firing phasers on through. We're going to deal some actual damage to him. Let's patch up the Phaser X. We may as well keep on them. And we're not in a great position, honestly. We are currently using a single shield slot, which is not in a great firing arc for us because a lot of our firing arcs are focused very forward. Come on, keep blasting away. We have a forward shield back. It's sort of a forward shield. That plasma torpedo he shouldn't be able to stop. This one, unfortunately, is going to wipe out most of my shield. Yeah, shields are about to drop. Apparently, our Phaser 3s are set up to shoot at those. This is going to be an R-type plasma torpedo situation very, very shortly. Keep the phasers firing through. Yeah, we got an emergency stop. Okay, so we are stopped. That will avoid most of his plasma torpedoes, but we will start turning as best as we can. I've got 2 R-type plasma torpedoes with his name on it, but I've got to get a good angle on him. I do have a pretty nasty surprise punch, though. And we will take a plasma F. That's fine. You still had another Wild Weasel. I suppose he does have 4 shuttles, but you got to keep that in mind. Hitting him with a little bit of our firepower. I do want a hard turn, but I think that might be very dangerous if we try that. As we continue to click away with light phasers, you had another S on the opposite end of the ship that was still available. He did take out our shield. Not good. Are we going to get range with the R-type plasma torpedoes? Or not range. Oh, there we... Yes, we will. That'll be 100 damage to you. Thank you, sir. 186 combined with everything else that we were firing at him. And port side phasers are about to get involved. There we go. Cascading system failures across his ship. He is not having a good day. Switch our reinforcements to 360 degrees and just lay on into him. He does have an S-type plasma torpedo. It is ready to go, so let's try and turn away from that before he dumps it into us. Okay, we took a nasty hit there, but we are still chugging along. So let's get repairs going. We need the engines fixed. We need that fixed. We're going to ignore the plasma D for now. That and that. All enemies have been destroyed. Excellent work, everybody. That was a little bit more of a drag-out fight, mainly because we ended up having to kill our velocity twice, which was not great. We weren't in a position to just simply sprint away from his firepower like we would like to be normally. So 300 prestige is our reward, and the tile taken, which finishes off that sector. So 142 prestige, plus 19. 3 Marines who died in the fighting. We're good with those. We do need 4 more spare parts. Done and done. And are we down? Yeah, we're pretty much down to the main mass here, which I'm going to assume there's got to be like a station or something in the center of this. Isn't there? No. No, there is not. So we're now in the middle of all the Federation territories. The remaining Federation flower, aside from the single territory off in the lower left-hand corner of our current screen. Well, not the current screen, but the current view that we had of the map. All hands to battle stations. It is a single heavy cruiser. It is a strike cruiser, too. And we've got a light cruiser, which I'm assuming you're an HDW X something or other, HDW M3X, and an NDC XM, so this is a new drone cruiser. He can spit out 11 missiles every time he shoots, and we are escorted today by the Doom Cut, which is not a bad vessel to be escorted by, I suppose. Well, he's not fantastic, but he's definitely interesting. Reinforce just the forward shield if you don't mind, and give me electronic combat. There, and increase the speed of... No thank you, we don't need to chat to them. Increase the speed of the vessel. A third vessel has shown up, another HDW, so we're looking at 2 heavy war destroyers and a single drone cruiser. This is an interesting tactic. It makes cloaking much more difficult, mainly because if we try to cloak and he fires those missiles while we're cloaking, we have no defense against them, which, as you can imagine, is not great. We will prepare to fire our first pseudo-plasma torpedo at you now. And you're at a range of 46, you're at a range of 44, you'll actually come up sooner, so I'm actually going to focus a little bit on you. We'll set up a second pseudo-plasma torpedo to bait out your Wild Weasel, also to keep you out of the fight for just a little bit longer, which is the plan. We gotta wait until we get down to a proper range. Did you crash up? Yes, you did. So now we're in range to do that to him. And to you, I say S-type pseudo-torpedo. I don't think that'll work. I do think that you will not care in the slightest about that incoming firepower, but I may as well, and it doesn't cost me anything. Just a couple of turns of not having a pseudo-torpedo. We are in range and ready to light him up with absolutely everything we've got. Just gotta wait for him to get up to speed. He's stopped as well, so he'll be vulnerable. Unfortunately, we won't have any plasma torpedoes to engage him with. His acceleration is rather slow, which is somewhat annoying. Fire everything. There we go. Incoming missile barrage. Only 6 of them, though, so he... But there the Merv goes off, but we did take out the new drone cruiser without any real trouble. I want to see if we can't swing out and bring the stern plasma torpedo around. It's got to be an interesting angle, but as long as you don't turn into me, we will be able to get away with this without too much difficulty. Our escort is still alive. The Doom Cut is still there. That actually does surprise me quite a bit. And to you, I say pseudos. That ought to give me the response that I'm looking for. It did. You immediately stopped, which is good. And we're just going to pull into a nice little, decently close range phaser barrage range. We got 35 points of damage through, but we did cut through much of his shields at the same time. So he is rather vulnerable, although we're going to have to cut through his stern shields as well as we come around. Get another decent raking pass on him. He's lost a whole bunch of systems. The heavy war destroyer, Cochrane, in a nasty position on us. And we'll lash out with a whole bunch of phasers. We're going to have to turn that shield away from him. Otherwise, we might lose it. And them making use of their stern-firing plasma torpedoes, or phaser, photon torpedoes. Gotta keep that straight. There's too many torpedoes in this game. So he's doing just fine. He is armed with a missile launcher, so he's not actually super dangerous to us. Big mind just to make him try and go further out on his turn. Will also waste his time. I do want to keep the focus on the Paris for now. I think we were in one of these for a while because of the stern-firing photon torpedo. And get ready to open him up. There we go. More pseudos, if you don't mind. And more phasers. Well, we don't have any phasers, but now we do. Laying into the Paris quite nicely, causing quite a bit of damage. He does not have a shuttle bay. You, hi. Light plasma torpedoes only since we're at point-blank range. So we'll follow that up, and you are still maintaining a pretty high speed. So the moment you pull outside of this range of 1, I do want to engage you. Actually, wait for it. We have none of these, so it's a bit of a risk if we just fire everything we've got. We'll hurt ourselves just a little bit there, wipe out most of his shields, causing some damage. His shuttle bay does appear to be offline. A nice big hit in there. Can I get another S-type plasma torpedo? All weapons firing? Nope, nothing. We have nothing available at this time. And his shuttle bay is back up to full capability. You are drifting along. You do not have a shuttle bay, so this plasma torpedo will go in easily. So just a long-range shot there. Cochrane is slow and not doing very well at all. We're just waiting for our phasers to come back online, and we should be able to kill him in one barrage. I'm going to send another S-type plasma torpedo his way if he survives, and he did. Plasma S, just as soon as you come around to the stern arc, that I do believe will take you out. And that phaser took you out. Excellent. So don't bring numbers, you'll just die. Although you'll have company on your way down. So currently working on taking out the very last of the Federation, which I do believe we have a decent chance of doing. Not this episode, just this episode is over. 306 prestige is our reward, and the center of the flower taken out. The only remains of the Federation are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiles. And we will endeavor to defeat them relatively shortly. We may even buy another battleship by the time we actually move to finish them off. But that will have to wait for another day. Until then, I've been Derek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I post some of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.